Hi everyone, I'm Jenna and this is Learn Academic English. Speaking of academic English, today I'm going to give you a quick lesson about how to talk about advantages and disadvantages. This is a very common way of analyzing information. So if you're taking a class in school or if you have a job, you might need to talk about advantages and disadvantages about many different topics. And today I'm going to give you two main tips. First, when you are writing or speaking, try not to repeat the same words over and over again. If you're talking about advantages, you can also use the word benefits. Benefits. If you're talking about disadvantages, you can also use the words drawbacks or downsides. So those are two words that have basically the same meaning as disadvantages. So when you begin your discussion of advantages, you can use the word advantage a couple of times, but then try to use the word benefits at least once as well, so that you're not repeating the same word over and over again. Same thing with disadvantages. You can start talking about disadvantages and then you can add the words drawback or downside as you continue your discussion of disadvantages. Second, you need to know how to use these words in sentences, and most importantly, you need to know what comes after these words. In other words, what are the collocations? Advantage, we use advantage of something. Benefit, we say benefit of something. Sometimes you can hear the preposition to being used, an advantage to something or a benefit to something. Let's look at a couple of examples, and in these examples, we're going to be talking about hybrid cars. One advantage of owning a hybrid car instead of a gas-powered car is higher fuel economy. A second benefit of hybrid cars is lower emissions. So emissions is that dirty stuff that comes out of the car. Notice that in both of these sentences, I used of after advantage or benefit. How about disadvantage? Disadvantage, like advantage, we use the word of after. But with downside and drawback, we usually use to. So for all of these, we could use of or to, but disadvantage, usually we say disadvantage of, and downside or drawback, we usually use to. And if you look them up in the dictionary, those are the collocations that you're going to find. For example, one disadvantage of owning a hybrid car is higher upfront cost. So that means that when an upfront cost is the cost that you pay at the beginning. Another drawback to hybrid cars is the challenge of recycling the battery once it is no longer used. Hybrid cars also have the following downsides: higher upfront cost and the challenge of recycling the battery. What about the words pro and con? We do use pros and cons to talk about advantages and disadvantages, but we usually use pros and cons together in the same sentence. For example, we might say, there are many pros and cons of owning a hybrid vehicle. Sometimes we might ask about pros and cons separately, but that would usually be more in conversation. What are the pros of this approach? And then we might contrast it with the cons. But typically, pros and cons are used together. So remember, when you're using these words in formal speaking or in writing, you want to make sure that you don't repeat the same word over and over again. You can use the synonyms benefits or downsides or drawbacks, and you need to remember what word comes after. With advantage and disadvantage, pros and cons, we usually use of after. But with drawbacks and downsides, we usually use to. And because we have a preposition, we need to follow that preposition with some kind of noun. That could be a noun or a noun phrase or a noun clause. I hope this lesson helps you to know how to use advantage and disadvantage. If you have any questions, please let me know, and make sure you check the description box below because I will leave a question that you can use to practice this in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want more lessons like this one. And note that I also have memberships on my YouTube channel that are great for people who want to have more contact with me, including weekly lessons. Take care, and I hope to see you back here soon.